Okay, this is a favourite spot of mine that I like to paint. The initial part of a painting is aiming to learn as much as possible about the shapes and how I can translate them into a painting, which will be a three-dimensional illusion on a one-dimensional board. So we've got sort of rectangles, triangles, oval shapes, and if you quickly reference photo, you'll notice there's quite a solid mass of shadow and shape on the right hand side, and we need to tie that into the left hand side and also the background and mid distance. As I go back, I'll be using more ultramarine blue and less of any red or yellow. That's how we achieve the effect of depth. And one of my favourite aspects of painting is trying to get the effect of sunlight, and normally that requires tonal contrast from light to dark. Okay, we've moved on a little bit now. Notice the little beacon of orange in that mid distance. I deliberately sort of over-coloured that at this stage just to give me a bit of a reference point for later in temperature and in local colour as well of that brick wall, the bricks on the house. The sky is a sort of a, even though it's a sunny day, it is actually a slightly greyed off. It's not a blue sky, which actually suits this scene perfectly because it only adds to the illusion of depth and distance. So just putting a little suggestion of smoke in the distance there as well. So now we've started to get quite a bit of work on the buildings, the background. This is lots of titanium white, a little bit of ultra blue, and a little bit of phthalo green. I love the phthalo green because it can give me marvellous cool greens when I need them. Just remember the reference photo is just purely there as a guide, kind of like the lights on a runway of if we're bringing the plane into land. If it's daytime, we can see quite clearly where we need to go and what we need to do. So I'm just taking what I need from that reference photo, leaving out what I don't really require. This is a really nice close-up on this brick wall. I'll be aiming to get sharper edges, even though it's a fairly static, straight, sharp-edged object. I'm still trying to get as much movement into that brush mark, not allowing it to get too tight on me, because ultimately that's what we're doing. We're starting off with a very blurred image and we're aiming to give it clarity, context, losing edges, only showing, almost like a magician, only shows you as much as they want you to see. So that's what I'm aiming to do. That's all part of the illusion. So with that underpainting, I was able, with this grassed area, I was able just to leave the shadow area to represent where the light was coming from and where the light is going to, and that's represented by the shadows. Just hitting those edges with the knife. Using the Rosemary & Co. Mongoose haired brush. This is when it's at its best actually. I try not to use it too soon in the painting process, or I'll end up with too many sharp edges and too many smooth brush marks as well. It's deliberately used to get rid of brush mark. So now we're coming into that. It's not really the focal point, this little brick wall, but it ties in with one of the focal areas. So making sure we're stepping back as often as possible with this shot. Of course you can't see how often I'm stepping back, but whenever I'm in doubt, that's when I'll step about 6 feet, maybe at 2 meters to 3 meters. So that's getting towards the end of it, folks. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Bye for now.